Okay, recording has started. Okay, so we will discuss first December 2021. May I know whether you have tried the paper? Anyone? Okay, good. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Adam, for your response, representing others. Okay, so first of all, we look at the objective questions. Okay, so part A, choose only one answer for each question. Question 1 and 2 are based on figure 1. So figure 1 shows the shaded region enclosed by the curves. Okay. Set up an integral to find the area of the shaded region in figure 1. So as you can see, the options given for for each of the answers, dx. Okay, so that means you just need to consider vertical strips. Okay, so when you consider vertical strips, you can see easily. Okay, you can see easily what is the point above belong to. Okay, so the point above belongs to the first curve, which is belongs to the curve. Okay, so the lowest point belong to the straight line. Okay, so you can see here easily that you have negative x squared plus 2x plus 24 minus x minus 4. So you will have negative x squared plus x minus 20 plus 20. So the answer would be B. Okay, so I guess you don't have problem with this, am I right? Okay, ke?
Okay.
Okay, good. Alhamdulillah. So moving on, we look at question number 2. What is the simplest method considering the least steps of integration to find the volume of the solid of revolution when the shaded region in figure 1 is revolved about the line x equal to 4? So as I mentioned, you must first identify the line as the axis of revolution. So line x equals to -4, make sure you indicate clearly in the figure. Okay, so x equals to -4 is the axis of revolution. Okay, so when you have the axis of revolution, you can identify when the shaded region is revolved about the line x equals to -4. You want to have least steps of integration. So least steps of integration means the simplest method, meaning that you don't have to divide into many regions. Okay, so this method, option this method. So obviously, if you do this method, you will need to divide into 2 regions because you have, if you draw the strip, because for this method, the strip must be perpendicular to the axis of revolution. So if you draw it this way, you will have different boundaries compared to you draw it somewhere within the shaded region. So you have to divide into 2 sub-regions. So that will include or involve many steps of integration because you will have 2 sets of integration. So obviously, this not the best option so far. Okay, washer method. This method actually not possible because actually you have gap from the beginning already. Not an option because you have gap. Okay, gap between the region and the axis of revolution. Washer method is the one that I discussed just now actually, where you have to divide into region 1 and region 2. So that is not the option because most probably not the least step. Okay, if you have cylindrical, okay, part D, option D, obviously this is not an option, so part D is not, option D is not an answer. So cylindrical shell method, we got to check whether it also divide into 2 regions or maybe more than 2 regions. Okay, so cylindrical shell method need 2 regions just now. So cylindrical shells method, you have to draw the strips parallel to the axis of revolution. So you draw parallel to the axis of revolution. Anywhere you draw, okay, you will see that the top point always belongs to the curve and the bottom point always belongs to the line. So how many regions are there that you have to do if you want to do by using cylindrical shells method? Can I have a response? How many regions are there? 1 region only. Okay, good, Anis. So when 1 region only, that means that is the least step of integration. So the best answer would be C. Okay, that's why if you look at the given final answer, it is C. Okay, and then for number 3, given the integral of fx dx, okay, from 2 to 4, it is 3. And then from 2 to 4 for g of x, okay, it is -2. Okay, evaluate 3 of f of x plus g of x. Okay, so this is easily done. Okay, equal to, because you have 3 of 2 to 4 of f of x dx, okay, plus 2 to 4 g of x dx. So you will have 3 multiplied by 2 to 4 for f of x is 3 plus 2 to 4 for gx is -2. So you have, the answer is 7. Okay, so that's why the answer is D. Okay, determine the correct partial fractions for. Okay, so you have to identify partial fraction. You check first whether it is proper or improper. So this is obviously power of 2, and here if you expand, it's going to be power of 6. So obviously this is proper. So you don't have to think of the long division. Okay, so when it's already proper, you just need to think of the possible form of the partial fractions, which will be depending on the type of factors in the denominator. So you identify here x squared minus 9, x squared plus 4, x plus 2 squared. So you have to look at this. Okay, so all are quadratic factors, but you have to identify whether it's reducible or not reducible. Okay, irreducible or reducible. Okay, so the first one, x squared minus 9. So this can be factorized to be x minus 3, x plus 3. Okay, the second one, okay, it is irreducible because when you try to find for the roots, it will be complex roots. Okay, so it remains as irreducible quadratic. Okay, x plus 2 squared. Okay, that one we take it as repeated linear. Okay, repeated linear. And here irreducible. And here distinct linear. Okay, so you will have to take it as the form of the partial fraction. So you look at the form, okay, for distinct linear. Okay, so the options that you have now leaving you with C and D only possible answers, but A and B not an option because it's giving x squared minus 9, not as distinct linear. Okay, so you have either this or this, okay, C or D. But then you look at the irreducible, okay, so still the same option for C and D, but for the repeated linear, okay, so the correct one should be C. Okay, that's why the answer is C, right? And then moving on, question number 5, determine the order and degree of the differential equation. So order and degree will be depending on highest order derivative term. Highest order derivative term. Okay, so highest order derivative term, you look at the terms that you have. One, you have to the power of 4, not to the power of 4, order 4. Okay, highest order is 4. And for the second term, you have the order is 1. So obviously, you have to look at the term with the highest order derivative. Okay, so you look at the order. Order is fourth order. And the degree, only to the power of 1, so it's first degree. So that's why you see the answer is A, right? And then for number 6, what is the general solution of dy dx equals to 2? So dy dx equals to 2, obviously it's a simple integral when you have dy equals to 2 dx. So you integrate both sides, so y will be 2x plus c. So the answer will be obviously A. Okay. Number 7, if the occurrence of an event A is affected by the occurrence of event B, then probability of A intersect B, okay, affected. So that means dependent. Okay. So if dependent, then you have probability of the intersection will be product between, okay, A intersect B, so you will have probability of P multiplied by probability of, because we will be using from the formula, probability of A given B will be probability of A intersect B divided by probability of B. So we manipulate from this conditional formula, so conditional probability formula. So we put probability of A intersect B equals to probability of B times probability of A given B. So the answer is C. Okay. Number 8. What is the value of K from the following probability distribution? Okay, so this one, you know that the total probability must be, okay, first of all, when you look at the given probability distribution, so that means it's this discrete. Okay, you can also check from the values of X given, okay, discrete values. Okay, so you know that it's sum of probability of X equal to X must be equal to 1. Okay, so you'll be adding all the probabilities and put it to be equal to 1. So you just add up 0.1 plus K plus 0.2 plus 2K plus 0.3 plus 3K. So with that, you should get the answer is 1/15. How is it so far? Is it okay so far? Do you have any question in between from question number 1 until number 8? Is it okay? Okay, Alhamdulillah. Okay. While I'm discussing the question, in case you have any question, you just ask straight away. So don't worry to interrupt. Okay. Number 9, given X is a normal distribution with the parameter. Okay, so what is probability of X less than 25? Okay, so this is a normal distribution. Okay, so we know that for normal distribution, the parameter given, okay, here we have our mu and here we have our variance. Okay, so when they ask you what is probability of X less than 25, we know that the normal bell-shaped curve, okay, mean should be in the middle. Okay, when mean is in the middle, okay, so that means you will have the value when X is less than 25, mean, okay, so it will be obviously 0.5. Actually, whether it's less than or greater than 25, it will be 0.5. Okay. Okay, number 10, a local fast food restaurant receives an average of 2 orders of big breakfast set every 5 minutes. What is the mean number of orders in an hour period? Okay, so you have every 5 minutes. Okay, it has 2 orders. So we want to calculate for an hour. So how many times of 5 minutes for an hour? We have 12. Okay, so 12 times 2, that will be 24. Okay, so far so good, everyone. Okay, yeah. Good. Alhamdulillah. Okay, moving on, we look at question number 1. Okay, part B, 90 marks. So you have to show all necessary working to obtain full credit. So you must show every single working. Okay. The arrangement of the topics for subjective part, it is not fixed arrangement, meaning you might see topic from chapter 5 coming first, or maybe topic from chapter 8, or maybe topics from chapter 7, or maybe topics from chapter 4. Okay, so you don't have to shop in case you see the first question doesn't belong to chapter 3. Okay, so you can start with the question that you're confident to start answering your final, but make sure you label the question number. Okay, right, so question number 1, solve by using integration by parts. So clearly indicated you have to use integration by parts. Okay, so you have to identify first the type that you have here. It's algebraic and also exponential. So you choose as you know, LATE. Okay, so you will choose UDV. So U is algebraic, DV is exponential. So you let U equals to algebraic, so negative 5x plus 1 and the dv equals to e to the power of 2x plus 4d dx. Okay, so I just would like to remind, make sure you don't miss dx there. Okay, common error, student miss to put that dx. Okay, so from there you will find the du dx equals to -5, which means du equals to -5 dx. So you can also start marking your work that you have done while we discuss, okay, so that you don't miss the steps. Okay, and then for v, we will integrate both sides of our choice of dv. So v will be e to the power of 2x plus 4 divided by 2. Okay, so after that you will rewrite the question, -5x plus 1 e to the power of 2x plus 4 dx. Okay, copy the question correctly and then apply the formula. Okay, the formula is the integral of u dv equals to uv minus integral of v du. So you will copy the u and v that you have identified earlier. So -5x plus 1. V is e to the power of 2x plus 4 over 2 minus the integral of v is e to the power of 2x plus 4 over 2. Du is -5 dx. Okay, so here you will write 1 over 2, a proper way maybe to put -1 over 2 there, -5x plus 1, and then e to the power of 2x plus 4. And here you put plus 5 outside over 2, then you integrate e to the power of 2x plus 4 dx. Okay, so you just have to think how should you integrate the last part there. Okay, so here you will have 1 over 2 -5x plus 1 e to the power of 2x plus 4 plus 5 over 2. Okay, e to the power of 2x plus 4 over 2. And please do remember to put plus c. Okay, so simplify your final answer to be 1 over 2 -5x plus 1 e to the power of 2x plus 4 plus 5 over 4 e to the power of 2x plus 4 plus c. Is it okay so far? Do you have any question? Okay, ke? Okay, alright. Alhamdulillah. Okay, moving on, we look at question number 2. Okay, question number 2, given a proper rational expression. So you should note the important info there. Okay, proper rational expression. Okay, so that means you don't have to do long division. Okay, straight away when they ask you to decompose the proper rational expression, so you identify the factors in the denominator. So you start by rewriting the rational expression x squared plus 4 over x cubed plus x. Okay, so you identify what are the factors in the denominator. Okay, so you have x squared plus 4 divided by, you can factorize common factor x squared plus 1. Okay, so when you see x squared plus 1, okay, you try to figure out, okay, x squared plus 1, when you try to find for the root of the factor, you will see that the roots are complex number because you will have plus minus square root of a negative number. So complex. So when it is complex, you will classify the type of factor here is irreducible quadratic for the second factor. Okay. For the first factor, distinct linear. So you will determine the form based on the type of factors in the denominator, which you will have. Okay, the form is a over x plus bx plus c over x squared plus 1. Okay, so make sure you write correctly the factors and also the form of the partial fractions. This is the critical part because if you have a wrong combination of partial fractions form, then you can expect what would be the final answer, meaning totally wrong. Okay, so you should start with the correct form of the partial fractions. Okay, so here we will need to write it as a single fraction. So x squared plus 1. So a multiplied by x squared plus 1, bx plus c, we multiply by x. Okay, so you can see that you have right hand side. Right hand side, you have x times x squared plus 1. The original one, you have x times x squared plus 1. Okay, denominator. Okay, and then for numerator, you can already compare. Okay, so you can write a times x squared plus 1 plus bx plus c times x equals to x squared plus 4. Okay, so you can expand. Okay, so ax squared plus a plus bx squared plus cx equals to x squared plus 4. Collect the terms for x squared, so a plus b x squared plus cx plus a equal to x squared plus 4. So after that, you will need to comparing coefficient for x to the power of 0 or constant. Okay, you obviously see a equals to 4. For x equal to x to the power of 1, you see that c equals to 0. And for x to the power of 2, it's a plus b equals to 1. A has been obtained earlier, so 4 plus b equals to 1. B equals to negative 3. Okay. So you have to rewrite your answer because the question is asking you to decompose into partial fractions. So you have to rewrite your answer, not only giving A, B, and C, but you have to rewrite, okay, therefore, okay, x squared plus 4 over x cubed plus x equals to, rewriting the value of A, which is 4 over x plus negative 3x plus c is 0, okay, over x squared plus 1. Okay, so you can write this in a simpler form. Okay, this is equal to 4 over x minus 3x over x squared plus 1. All right, so that is for part A, to decompose into partial fractions. Okay. And then for part B, hence of the following integral. Okay, as I mentioned in class, you should always check whether it's the exactly same form as what you have decomposed. Okay, so you check the form that you have here and the form that you have decomposed. Okay, is it exactly the same? When it is exactly the same, okay, that means you can use exactly the partial fractions that you have identified earlier in part A. Okay, so you have x squared plus 4 over x cubed plus x dx equals to the integral of 4 over x minus 3x over x squared plus 1 dx. Okay, so you have to identify how to integrate each of the terms. Okay, so 4 over x obviously will be 4 natural log x. Okay, but how should you integrate negative 3x over x squared plus 1 with respect to x? Okay, it's so you see there, you need to do the form here. It is not a form that you have in a basic integral. Okay, it's not basic. Okay, so you have to think a technique. Okay, a technique to convert this form to be basic. Okay, so obviously the denominator power of 2. Okay, numerator power of 1. So most probably it's a high possibility that you can solve by using substitution. So let u equals to x squared plus 1. So du dx equal to 2x. Okay, which means you have 1 over 2 du equal to x dx. Okay, so you will have here 4 natural log x minus 3 there actually can be put outside. Okay, so 1 over x squared plus 1 is u. X dx is 1 over 2 du. Okay, so what you have there is actually 4 natural log x minus 3 over 2 natural log u plus c. Make sure when your variable, okay, your variable in terms of u, you integrate with respect to u first. Okay, do not jump to integrating it to be in terms of x. Okay, so finally, only you substitute the u back to be in terms of x. So u is x squared plus 1 plus. Is it okay so far? Okay. Alright, good. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Amna. Thank you, Adam. Right. So, question number 3. Find the particular solution for the given separable differential equation. Okay. An advantage because it has been indicated what is the type of the differential equation. Okay. So, when it is separable, you have to recall the general form for separable equation, which you must have it in the form g of x times h of y. Okay. So you see here the equation given, it's not in the form that you can see clearly what's gx, what is h of y. So that means you have to factorize. Okay. So you will have to write, okay, dy dx equals to common factor that you have. It is y square, right? Both having y to the power of 2. Okay, so you factorize y to the power of 2. Okay, so you have x plus 2. Okay. I should also highlight, you should note that they ask for particular solution, meaning you have the initial condition which you can solve for the C later. Okay, so now you already have it in the form of hy, and here you have g of x. Okay, right, so you will have 1 over y squared dy equals to x plus 2 dx. Okay, and then you will integrate both sides. Okay, meaning you will write y to the power of negative 2 dy equals to integrate x plus 2 dx. Okay, so obviously this simple integral, okay, y to the power of negative 2 over negative 2 plus 1. So that will be negative 1 over negative 1 equals to x squared over 2 plus 2x. Please do remember to put the plus c, okay? Because if you miss this plus c, then you will miss the substitution of the initial condition. So you don't have the particular solution, okay? So make sure you have the plus c. Okay, so here you have y of 0 equal to 1. So you can actually substitute directly when you have y of 0 equals to 1. That means you have x equal to 0, okay, y equals to 1, okay. So you can substitute directly where you have therefore 1 to the power of negative 1, okay, over negative 1 equals to 0 square over 2 plus 2 times 0 plus c. Why can we simply substitute directly? Because when we substitute directly, it doesn't involve any undefined case, okay? Usually undefined case happen when you have natural log function, okay? So natural log function with the input which is negative. So in this case, you can actually substitute directly, okay? So here you have actually negative 1 equals to c. So you have c equals to negative 1. So you can write therefore particular solution with the c value has been obtained. So negative 1 over y equals to x square over 2 plus 2x minus 1. Okay. So this one is what we call general solution. Okay, so if a proper way to write this, okay, it is possible to this form of function, you can present your answer explicitly, meaning to put y to be the subject of the equation. So if you want to put y to be the subject of the equation, you have to work further. Negative 1 over y equals to x squared plus 4x minus 2 over 2. So you will have negative 2, okay, equals to negative 2 over x squared plus 4x minus 2 equals to y, okay, or usually we put y to be on the left, so y equals to negative 2 over x squared plus 4x minus 2. Okay, good, everyone? Okay, thank you, Hanis. Okay, question 4, given a linear first order differential equation. So linear first order differential equation. Okay, find the integrating factor for the given linear differential equation. If for separable just now, you refer to the general form. Okay, but for linear, you refer to the standard form. So the standard form would be dy dx plus bx times y equals to q of x. Okay. So when you look at the given question, obviously it is not a standard form. So you have to rewrite it to be in the standard form. So you have to divide both sides by x. So dy dx plus 2 over xy equals to x minus 1 plus 1 over x. Okay. So from there, you will identify the integrating factor by, okay, that's actually step 1. Okay, standard form. Okay, number 2, step 2, then step 1. Okay, step 2. Okay, you identify p of x equals to 2 over x. Okay. And then, okay, and then you identify the integrating factor. Okay, integrating factor would be e to the power of integral of 2 over x dx. So equals to e to the power of 2 natural log x. Okay, which means you have here e to the power of natural log x to the power of 2 equals to x to the power of 2. So first part of the question only asks you to find for the integrating factor, simplify your answer. You have obtained integrating factor and then you have simplified your answer. Okay. Okay, hence show the full steps to solve the linear differential equation. So that will continue with step 3, okay, where you have to multiply both sides of the standard form. So that will be x squared dy dx plus x squared times 2 over x y equals to x squared times x minus 1 plus 1 over x. Okay, so you have, then you will rewrite exact form d dx of integrating factor x squared multiplied by dependent variable, which is y. Okay, so equals to, okay, this one on the right hand side, you can simplify x cubed minus x squared plus x. Okay. Okay, then what would you do? Integrate both sides. Okay, ini dah step 4. Okay. So d dx of x square y dx, okay, equals to the integral of x cubed minus x square plus x dx. Okay, so I need to remind you, make sure you tulis betul ni. D dx, so you integrate with respect to x, okay, and on the right hand side also you have integration with respect to x, okay. Ni kena remind, don't miss to write that d dx, yeah. Okay, so after that, you proceed with the integration. Okay, so left hand side, x squared y. Right hand side, you have x to the power of 4 over 4 minus x to the power of 3 over 3 plus x squared over 2 plus, yeah, but this form of equation, again, it can be expressed explicitly. So you'll have the final answer, y equals to x to the power of 2 over 4 minus x over 3 plus 1 over 2 plus c over x squared. Is it okay, everyone, for this question?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Okay, question number 5. Okay. Given P probability of D prime equals to 0.2, probability of A equal to 0.8, probability of D given E equals to 0.9, probability of D prime given E prime equal to 0.6. Calculate probability of E intersect D. Okay, so probability of E intersect D. Okay, this one is actually again using the formula of probability of E times probability of D intersect D given E dependent. Okay, so probability of E is 0.8 multiplied by 0.9, so 0.72. Okay, good everyone for this? Straightforward, kan? You're not? Okay, thank you, Hanis. Okay, then this part B, probability of E prime intersect D prime, so equals to probability of E prime, okay, times probability of D prime given E prime. Okay, it's actually similar to the previous, okay, just the complementary. Okay, so you have E prime, it's not given, but you can find it from 1 minus 0.8, okay, times D prime intersect E prime multiplied by 0.6. Okay, so we actually have 0.2 times 0.6, so you have 0.12. So they're similar, cuma this part je lah, because it is not straight, not given in the question, so you have to identify probability of the complementary of E. Okay, all right. And then for part C, determine probability of D union E. Okay, so this one can be obtained from additional rule. Okay, additional rule 1. Probability of D plus probability of E minus probability of D intersect E. Okay, so you have probability of D. Okay, since we don't have probability of D, but we can find it from 1 minus 0.2. Okay, plus probability of E is 0.8 minus D intersect E. It's the same as E intersect D, so minus 0.72. So we will obtain 0.8 plus 0.8 minus 0.72, which you would have it 0.88. Is it okay, everyone? Okay, thank you, Putih. All right, D, given M is an independent event with probability of M is 0.7, find probability of E intersect D intersect M. Okay, so M is independent event. Okay, so actually it's probability of E intersect D intersect M. So you can take this as now one event intersect with another event M. Okay, So it's like you have probability of A intersect B when they are independent. Okay, so simply probability of E intersect D times probability of M. Okay, so probability of E intersect D, earlier we have obtained 0.72 multiplied by probability of M is 0.7. Okay, so you will obtain 0.504. Is it okay so far? Thank you for your response, Anis. Okay, question number 6. The lifetimes X hours of a battery is modeled by the probability density function. So when you see the word density and you see time, obviously this will be continuous. When continuous, you will be working with integration. Okay, so now the question is asking us for mean of the battery lifetime. So mean, when we have the variable is X, we know that you can find that from the expected value of X. Okay, but remember, okay, expected value of X, when it is continuous, you will be working with integration, not sum. Okay, so simply E of X, okay, you can start from mean equal to E of X. Okay, so this will be the integral for all X. Okay, so all X that you have, only one interval. Okay, so if you have two intervals, you have to do two sets of integration. When only one interval, one set of integration only. So from 1 until 4, 1 over 9x times 4 minus x dx. Okay, so for this one, as usual, because this is a simple integration, so what you need to do is just taking out 1 over 9 outside, as usual, 1 to 4, then 4x minus x squared, integrate with respect to x. Okay, so you will have e of x continued here, 1 over 9, so multiply by 4x squared over 2 minus x cubed over 3. Okay, substitute the value 1 to 4. Sorry, I missed something. Check formula for E of X. E of X, you should have, ni common error juga ni. Okay, X multiplied by Fx dx. So you need to multiply by X. So here, X multiplied by this. So here you have X. Okay, so you have 1 over 9, 1 to 4, 4x squared minus x cubed dx. Salah ni. Okay, so here we have 4x cubed over 3. Okay, and x to the power of 4 over 4. So the error, okay, which will affect your calculation is the missing x. Ni, multiplication by x. Okay, because you are not calculating probability, you are calculating the expected value. Okay, so here as usual, you just substitute. For this one, I don't think I need to show every single step. You just substitute 4 over 3, 4 cubed minus 4 to the power of 4 over 4. Okay, minus 4 over 3, 1 cubed minus 1 to the power of 4 over 4. Okay, you can simplify this. Okay, so the answer should be 9 over 4. Was there any problem doing this? Is it okay, everyone? Thank you, Amna. Okay, find the probability that the battery lifetime is more than 2.5 hours. Okay, yang ni probability. So probability, that means integrate without multiplying by x. Okay, So probability for X more than 2.5 hours. Dia bagi tadi in hours, in hours. And we have here in 1 to 4 here in hours. Okay. So when you have to calculate more than 2.5 hours, you don't have to convert, and the unit is already in the same unit. Okay. So 2.5. Okay, that means lower limit will be 2.5, and then highest upper limit will be 4. So 1/9 x 4 minus x dx. Okay, because this time you are calculating for probability. So the formula for probability of x more than x1, for example, okay, will be integration of x1 to the max of x. Okay, f of x dx. Okay. This one you integrate as usual. Okay. Integrate, substitute with limit, and you get the answer. I don't have to show every single step, right? Leah? Okay, girl? Alright, thank you for your response. Kenapa my sound ni sekejap ya? Oh, no wonder. Okay. Alright. Okay, now, part C. A camera runs using 2 of these batteries, both of which must be working. 2 fully charged batteries are put into the camera. Find the probability that the camera will be working after 2.5 hours of use. How should you answer this? Is it the same random variable we are talking about for C? For part A and B just now? What is our X? I forgot to mention this. Time in hours, right? But here, what is our X? Okay. Is it still about the time? So it's related to probability that the camera will be working. So kalau the camera will be working, that means the probability still it does not depend on X anymore, but it will be depending on how many batteries. Okay, kalau satu battery je yang working, camera will be working or not? Anyone?
No.
No, so we need both batteries to be working. So it's about, the variable is now about number of batteries. Okay. So now instead of X, because it's no longer time, okay, so we have to consider that we have a new variable here, which is Y. Okay. So we are looking for probability of Y equals to 2. Okay. So Y is number of batteries working after 2.5 hours. Okay, working after 2.5 hours, that one we have already calculated X greater than 2.5 just now, which is the previous answer you should have obtained is 0.375. Okay, so here we have 0.375. Okay, so now how many batteries we have in total? Two, right?
Yes.
So we want to check whether both batteries are working, meaning from these two batteries are both working. Okay, so n equals to 2. So when I have already written n there, that means you can predict that y now is a binomial distribution with parameter number of trials is 2. Okay, because you have two batteries that you have to consider. And the probability of success here referring to the successful working after 2.5 hours, so 0.375. Okay, so you have now probability of y must be equal to 2, meaning both working. So y exactly 2 working after 2.5 hours. So that will be 2C2 0.375, 1 minus, they hit 2, 1 minus 0.375 to the power of 0. Okay, so you will have 0.140625. Do you do the same way? Okay,
No.
girl? No? How do you do it then?
Directly random.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's why it is important for you to define your random variable too. Okay. Yang tadi it's the time. Now we are considering, and because the question is whether both are working. So both to referring to number of batteries. Berapa battery working? So exactly 2 working. Okay. So from the 2 are both working. So like 2 number of trials. Okay. Whether both are successful. So is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Alhamdulillah. Right. Okay, question number 7. The waiting time in minutes for a patient to be seen by a dentist is normally distributed with standard deviation of 8 minutes. Okay, so now it is a normal distribution. Standard deviation for 8. Okay, obviously mean is not given. So you have X is about the waiting time. Okay, so X is a normal distribution with mean unknown and standard deviation 8, so variance is 8 square. Given probability of X greater than 30 is 0.8, find for mu. So you can use that for probability of X greater than 30 equal to 0.8. So probability of Z greater than 30 minus mu divided by 8 equals to 0.8. Okay, so you can compare this with the bell-shaped curve. Zero in the middle, and you want it to be 0.8, meaning the shaded region should be more than 0.5 and on the right. 0.5 half, okay, more than 0.5 on the right, so you must shade this. Okay, so you have that region is 0.8. So you do not know what is the value of A here, but what you know about A is a negative value. So you can use the symmetrical property. Okay, so the symmetrical property we have so let's say that's M. So you can see that A should be equal to the negative of M. So when here is 0.8, so the complement of that should be 0.2. So you are looking for probability of Z greater than M equal to 0.2. So that one you will have the value. What is the value for M? Is it 0.84? Betul tak? M ni. The positive one is 0.84 ya. Betul. 0.2, 0.2. Okay, it's 0.84, right? So that means A equals to negative 0.84. Okay, so probability of Z greater than negative 0.84 equals to 0.8. So when you compare the two, this and this, so you can see obviously, okay, 30 minus mu divided by 8 equals to negative 0.84. Okay, so you can solve for the mu. Okay, negative 0.84 times 8 minus 30 multiplied by negative 1. So you will obtain 36.72, approximately 37 minutes. That will be the mean. Is it okay, everyone? Ya.
Okay, madam.
Sekejap ya. Okay, sorry ya. Is part B, hence determine the probability that a randomly chosen patient wait less than 25 minutes. Okay, so this is obviously simple probability of waiting time. So X less than 25. Okay, so probability of Z less than 25 minus the mean that you have obtained. So 37 over 8. Okay, so probability of Z less than negative 1.5. Okay, so you have negative 1.5. Okay, so will be on the left. So you can take it similar to the probability for C greater than 1.5. So you refer to the table greater than 1.5, 0.0668. Okay ke? Is it okay? Straightforward kan this question?
Okay, madam.
Alright, good. Alhamdulillah. Question number 8. According to figures released by the Food Safety Authority, the weekly number of reported food poisoning cases can be modeled by Poisson distribution with mean 2. Okay, as I mentioned again and again, it's good to start with the X, the random variable. Okay, so X is about number of, because it's clearly Poisson, so discrete. Okay, discrete number of reported food poisoning cases. But when Poisson, it must be clear the interval. In this case, interval of time lah. Okay. The question is about a given week. A given week. And the given mean is the weekly number. So it's same interval of time, which is 1 week. Okay, so food poisoning cases per week. Okay, so the lambda equals to the mean equals to 2, lambda equals to 2. So X is a Poisson distribution with parameter 2. Find the probability that on a given week there will be more than 3 reported cases. So we want for a probability of number of reported cases more than 3. Obviously, you have to calculate starting from 4, 5 onwards. So that means you have to calculate 1 minus probability of X less than or equal to 3. So that will be e to the power of negative lambda, e to the power of negative 2, starting from 0. Okay, so 0 factorial, lambda is 2 to the power of 0 over 0 factorial plus 2 to the power of 1 over 1 factorial plus 2 to the power of 2 over 2 factorial plus 2 to the power of 3 over 3 factorial. Okay, so you will have here any 1 minus tertinggal. Okay, 1 minus 0.8572. So you will obtain 0.1428. Is it okay, everyone?
Yes, madam.
All right. The probability that in 4 weeks, there will be exactly 2 weeks without any reported cases. Are we still talking about number of reported cases? The probability here? Probability in 4 weeks, there will be exactly 2 weeks. So we are calculating the probability of exactly 2 weeks. So it's no longer probability of number of cases. But now we are talking about a different random variable. What is the new random variable that we have to consider here? Anyone would like to try? Probability will be exactly 2 weeks. So it's about number of
week.
Number of weeks. Okay, number of weeks without any reported cases. Okay. Is it still about Poisson? The random variable Y ni Poisson ke bukan? What do you think? Where is the hint? In 4 weeks. When you see the word in 4 weeks, you want the probability of exactly 2. What does that indicate? Anyone like to try? In 4 weeks, so referring to what?
N.
N. Okay, so N equals to 4. Okay, because from 4, you would like to know the probability of 2. Okay, so you have number of trials 4, you want the probability for 2 only. Okay. But then when you mention N and you relate with the random variable, that means we are trying to relate this with binomial. So bila binomial, you have to identify the success event. Okay, success event is without any reported cases. So for this without any reported cases, the P is actually talking about probability of X equal to 0. No reported cases because no reported cases related to X. Just now, number of reported cases equal to 0. So the P here, you should calculate from the Poisson distribution earlier. Okay. Okay, cases per week. Number of weeks, meaning 1 week, right? So probability of X equal to 0. Okay, so you have probability of X equal to 0. So you have e to the power of -2 multiplied by 2 to the power of 0 over 0 factorial. Okay, so you have 0.1353. That means our binomial distribution having parameter N and P 0.1353. So Y is a binomial distribution, parameter 4 and 0.1353. Okay. So number of weeks without any reported cases from 4 weeks. Okay, exactly 2. So you want probability of Y equals to 2. Okay, so for C2, 0.1353 to the power of 2, 0.8647. Is it? Okay, yes, power of 2. Okay, so you calculate from there 0.0828. to 1. Is it okay, everyone?
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you, Fariha, for the response. Okay. Okay, question number 9. An insurance agent make n number of calls to get new clients to sign up for insurance policy. Okay. The probability that a new client sign up on a call is 0.15. Okay. Calculate the number of calls needed such that the probability of at least one new client sign up for insurance policy is 0.95. What is our random variable now? Okay, you can get that from the hint, probability at least one new client. So that's related to number of client. Number of client sign up or number of client that they call, that he or she call. Number of clients sign up. Okay. Why do we relate with number of clients sign up? Because we have the probability sign up on a call is 0.15. Okay, so sign up here is referring to the success event. Okay, so we have the P already actually. Okay, 0.15. Okay, but the question mark is we do not have N because number of calls, okay, that we have equal to N, unknown. Okay, so we can use the information probability at least one new client sign up is 0.95. Okay, so we use probability of number of clients sign up. Okay, so X. Okay, at least one. At least one means greater than or equal to 1. Okay, we are now considering the X here is a binomial distribution with unknown N, unknown number of client, the probability of success, okay, 0.15. Okay, so we have probability of X greater than or equal to 1 is 0.95. Okay, so that means we have starting from 1, 2, 3 until N unknown, kan? So what we can do about that is 1 minus probability of X equal to 0 equal to 0.95. Okay, so 1 minus N C0, probability of success 0.15 to the power of 0, 0.85 to the power of N, okay, equals to 0.95. Okay, so NC0 that will be equal to anything that you put C0, the value will be 1. Am I right? Equal to 1. Okay, so we have actually 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 0.85 to the power of N equals to 1 minus 0.95. Okay, so we have 0.85 to the power of N equal to 0.05. Okay, so you can solve this by having N natural log 0.85, okay, equals to natural log 0.05. Meaning you put natural log to both sides. So N equals to, in the middle ni, you have actually natural log 0.85 to the power of N equals to natural log of 0.05. Okay, so N equals to natural log of 0.05 divided by natural log 0.85. Okay, so 18.43 approximately 18 calls. Okay, is it okay, everyone?
Okay, madam.
Right, yeah? So X just now actually number of clients that has been called which sign up. Okay, to be more accurate. Okay. Okay, question number 10. Find the area of the shaded region in figure 2 bounded by the curves. Okay, there are two curves, right? Cubic curve and quadratic curve. Okay, and then, where is the question? Okay, find the area. Okay, so find the area. Okay, if you want to minimize the number of region, how did you do it? Vertical or horizontal strips? Vertical, right? Betul, you pakai vertical strip. Strips vertical, so you have dx. Okay. Number of regions. How many number of regions? Only one. Okay. Number of regions and then limit. Okay, when dx. Okay, so functions in x. So in x already for both. And number 3, you determine the limit. Okay, so the limit you identify from left to right because you are using vertical strips. Okay, so from left to right, limit meaning from x equals to -1 until x equal to 2. Okay, which means you write it -1 to 2. Okay, so area will be -1 to 2. Okay, upper minus lower. So upper points belong to the cubic curve, x cubed minus 3x squared plus 4 minus x squared minus x minus lower function dx. Okay, so you will need to integrate this. Ni just simple polynomial, so simplify first. -1 to 2 x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 2. Simplify first, yeah? 4 plus 2, 6, sorry. X cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6. Okay. Okay, then you integrate x power 4 over 4 minus 4x cubed over 3 plus x squared over 2 plus 6x. Substitute with the limits. Show the substitution. 2 power 4 over 4 minus 4 over 3, 2 cubed plus 2 square over 2 plus 6 times 2. Okay. Minus, show -1 power 4 over 4 minus 4 over 3 -1 cube plus -1 square over 2 plus 6 times -1. Okay. Okay, then you get the final answer. 22 over 3 minus -47 over 12, which will obtain 45 over 4 area unit square. Did you manage to get the same answer? Okay ke tak? Okay. Thank you, Hanis. Alright, last question for December 2021. The shaded region in figure 3 is bounded by the curve and line. Okay, there are two curves. There is one curve, one line, and then x-axis. Set up an integral for the volume of the solid obtained by rotating the shaded region about the x-axis by using cylindrical shell method. You have to highlight, okay, axis of revolution, okay, x-axis. So where is x-axis? Jangan tertukar-tukar, okay. X-axis, the horizontal axis, okay. X-axis. And you want it to be cylindrical shell method. So cylindrical shell method, strip parallel to axis of revolution. Okay. So the strip will be also horizontal because as x-axis is horizontal. Okay, so you have first of all, as usual, you identify first how many regions are there. Only one region. Wherever you put the strips, it's going to be the same right and left boundary. Right belongs to the line and left belongs to the curve. Okay. Okay, number one, okay, you have decided one region only. Number two, you determine X or Y. So when you have horizontal strips, meaning the thickness is dy, so function in terms of Y. Okay, so you already have it in terms of Y for both. Okay, so in terms of Y for both, that means you have already the function in terms of Y. Okay, number three, you determine the limit. Okay, so limit will be starting from Y equals to 0. Okay, the lowest horizontal strip to the highest horizontal strip will be at Y equals to 1. Okay, so you have limit 0 to 1. Okay, and when cylindrical shells, you have 2 pi r each. So you have to identify r and also the h. Okay, so the radius, when you rotate about the axis of revolution, okay, so you have the center of revolution on the axis of revolution. So you revolve it like that. Let's say you take one of the strips there. Okay, so you have the center will be to the strip. So you have radius. Okay, radius will be equal to y minus 0. Okay, the height will be right minus left. So it will be from the line 3 minus y minus the curve, which is 2 square root of y. Okay, therefore volume, okay, will be 2 pi integrate 0 to 1. R is y. Okay, h is 3 minus y minus 2 third y dy. Okay, you get the still the top? Okay kan? Straightforward je. Okay ke everyone? Okay. Right, the last one for December 2021. Determine the volume of the solid of revolution when the shaded region is revolved about the line x equal to 4 by using Washer method. So again, highlight the axis of revolution. The line x equal to 4. So we can erase all of this. Now referring to axis of revolution at x equal to 4. Okay, and we want for Washer method. Okay, so we will draw. If Washer method, strip perpendicular to the axis of revolution. So you draw the strip perpendicular to the axis of revolution. Wherever you draw, it's going to be the same right and left boundary. Okay, so it's just that you have to identify where is the center, different center from the shell just now. So when you revolve, you will have this and this. Okay, so from there you see, kalau Washer method, you recall the formula, it will be pi big R square minus pi small r square. So you have determined just now number of region only one. Okay, Okay, number 2, you determine whether it is with respect to x or with respect to y. So when we did by using horizontal strip, meaning dy, so function also in terms of y, no problem because they are already given in terms of y for both. Okay, so number 3, you will determine the limit. Okay, so only one set of limit from y equal to 0 until y equals to 1. Okay, so you have limit 0 to 1. Okay, and then you want to know the inner radius and outer radius. So inner radius, you see that it's from the point x equal to 4 until the point on the line x equal to 3 minus y. Okay, so you have this, the black one that I draw there. Okay, so from the center to the point on the line. So that will be giving us r, small r equal to 4 minus 3 minus y. Okay, while the big R will be from the center, okay, center to the circumference of the bigger circle. Okay, so that will be on the curve. So 4 minus 2 third y. Okay, so you will have to write, okay, volume equal to pi can be put outside, integral from 0 to 1, big R square minus small r square dy. So you will have v pi 0 to 1. Big R is that belongs to 4 minus 2 third y. 4 minus 2 third y square minus r square, small r square can be simplified to be 1 plus y. Okay, so you have 1 plus y square dy. Okay. Okay, so here you have to identify how to integrate. Okay, so you have 0 to 1. You need to expand first. 16 minus 16y to the power of 1 over 2 plus 4y. Okay, minus, okay, 1 plus 2y plus y square dy. Okay, simplify, then integrate, then substitute with the limit, and finally the answer. I think it's not a problem for you to integrate the function that we have here. Am I right? Simple function kan? What important is the setup must be correct. Setup must be correct. Expand also must be correct. Expand before you integrate. Okay ke? Okay. Any specific question that you'd like to ask for December 2021?
Madam, can
Yes,
I
Rin.
ask about question 4A?
4A.
Mm-mm.
Okay, 4A. 4A. 4. Uh-huh.
How do we know that the line, for the x, they don't need the modulus symbol?
Oh, here.
Mm-mm.
Actually, you should have the modulus. But then, that modulus is actually to indicate that we cannot substitute a negative value into the natural log function. Okay, and then in the end, the answer will be, meaning we will apply the law of index, which we have actually somehow eliminate that modulus sign. So if in case you miss that modulus sign, usually we will still accept your answer.
Thank you, Madam.
Welcome. Is there any other specific question from the others? So far so good for this particular paper. Can I have response from each one of you? Okay ke so far for this paper? ya. Okay, Alhamdulillah. So I guess I stop the recording for this. So kalau tak ada panjang sangat ya. So I stop the recording for December 2021.